I don't care if you're making no money and you're stuck, or you're making 500,000 and you're stuck, or you're making 5 million and you're stuck. You're stuck because you don't know what you want to do next.
Hi, I'm Erin Marcus. Welcome to the Ready Yet podcast. We're excited to bring you more than 100 episodes of interviews and insights designed to help entrepreneurs get the financial and emotional freedom they need in order to build a business and a life they're proud of. All right. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Ready Yet podcast. And I'm excited about today's guest because we're getting to turn the tables on him. I was on Kellan's show yesterday where he asked me all sorts of difficult conversations. We had a lot of fun, and he dropped a few hints about a sordid past. So we're going to be able to put him on the spot, not really, but to share his experience and his information with you. So welcome. Let's see if I can do this right. Kellan Fluckiger.
That's perfect, and that's unusual because even when I tell people how to say it, they always end up with Fluckiger or Fluckinger or some other thing. And Kellan Fluckiger is perfect. Amazing.
Thank you. I'm excited. I am excited to have this conversation. You know, when we were chatting about what we wanted to talk about, I brought up the fact that, and I've noticed when I have conversations with people, they seem to go in themes. And the theme of a lot of conversations I've had lately is what I've started to title your new comfort zone. And so I'd love to get your approach and your take on this from your history and what you do for clients and what you've done in your life. I know a lot of business owners who get their ball rolling, right? They get their ball rolling. They're doing well. They're making revenue. They might be at a multiple six-figure situation, a little more depending on what type of business they're in. But they're stuck and overwhelmed and frustrated and almost ready to throw in the towel, because you get to this point when you get there that's, oh my God, is it always going to be this hard? Is it always going to be this hard? And then I call it their new comfort zone. They don't know how to get past that. And talk a little bit about, if you could, I know we talk a lot about it's what you're thinking, not what you're doing. How does someone in that spot, like they've started the ball rolling, they're stuck in a new area?
You're stuck in an area because you don't know what you want. Okay? Flat and pure and simple. I don't care if you're making no money and you're stuck, or you're making 500,000 and you're stuck, or you're making 5 million and you're stuck. You're stuck because you don't know what you want to do next. You don't really know. Do I want more money? Do I need to grow here? The first piece is inside of you, without thinking about what I call the Witot fungus. And I coined that term at the beginning of COVID, when we first got locked down and everybody was following the Johns Hopkins map every day and all that stuff. Witot fungus stands for what I think others think, and it's spelled W-I-T-O-T. When you're stuck in that and you have stories about what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to make this kind of money, and you're supposed to work this way or that way, and you're living your life from an external measurement perspective, primarily, you're never going to be happy. Here's a saying, write it down. You can never get enough of what you don't need, because what you don't need won't satisfy you. Okay, so if you are stuck and you're saying, I can't work any harder, my first question is, what is it that you really want?
So Isn't that amazing that they can't answer that question?
Yeah, if you're ideally situated, describe your day. You get up and do what? Or your week if it's not a day. Tell me, really. You wake up when? You do what? Why does that matter to you? What is it that makes you supremely happy? That's why I put your ultimate life up all the time. Your ultimate life, you define it. But I bet, and I know because I meet lots of new people every week, most people can't give me that definition.
I'm curious. I'm one of those people who I understand things better when I know how they work. When I learned how to drive a stick shift, once I understood what the gears were doing, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. So why is it so hard? And it's hard. Like, I'll ask people what they want, and we could be 20, 30 minutes later and they still haven't been able to answer the question. Why is that so hard for people to answer?
Because they haven't internally decided what's important to them. They have made their measurements by what they were told, how they were raised, what society expects, what their church expects, or community, or their family. I have a client who told me for years, I can't make any more money because then I'd be abandoning my blue-collar roots. And that was after 2 hours of conversation that we finally got it to that sentence.
Yeah.
So it's you listening. You haven't decided what the heck you want yet.
Well, and
Clearly.
to your point with that client, one of the reasons you might not have decided what you want yet is you're not sure why you already think it's a bad thing. Do they not know what they want? Or is there a fear around claiming what they want because of some hidden story that they're either not even aware of?
All the time. We were born innocent and unimprinted. And immediately we get buried with all of the judgments and thoughts. And I call it a be-deep. Beliefs, definitions, experiences, expectations, and perceptions. And it creates a context straitjacket through which you see the lens in the world. And there's nothing wrong with them. The revelation is when you realize it's just a set of lenses. Everybody has one. I can take them off. I can allow other people to have theirs. And you know what? I get to actually decide what mine are. That ownership and that understanding sometimes takes people years to realize because it's covered with guilt and shoulds and all the rest of it that actually have nothing to do with creating your ultimate life.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Ready Yet podcast. I truly enjoy bringing these stories of success and inspiration to you. Please join us in our mission to empower entrepreneurs to be in charge of their businesses and in charge of their lives by sharing this with anyone you know who would benefit from our tactical and motivating advice, leaving us a review, and letting us know if there are any particular topics you would really appreciate hearing about. See you next time.